Hello everybody, I hope everyone is doing well and welcome back and Happy New Year! I haven't seen you guys since last year. It feels so good to be sitting here filming again. I missed you guys so much. I did have a wonderful 2-week break. It was so nice to hang out with the family and just relax and become a complete potato, but I definitely missed getting ready and feeling cute. So I'm really excited for today's video. So since it's a new year, new me, I thought I would try a bunch of new products here. Some of the products are going to be just new to me and some of them are new releases that have come out while I was gone. So before we get into it, I would love for you to subscribe if you aren't already. It would mean so much to me, and let's get to it. So the first thing I'm going to try out is this JULIACFX Dewy Skin Primer. It's a very see-through base. It almost looks like a clear gloss. So I'm gonna take a bunch of, oh, it does feel exactly like a clear gloss. Oh, that feels really weird. It feels like I'm rubbing the Tower 28 gloss all over my face. I don't know about that. I might have used too much. Uh-oh. How has your 2021 started? I was going into it very positively, and then I woke up on January 1st with a few of my videos being demonetized, and I was like, oh, okay, so that's how this is gonna go. This primer feels kind of silicone-y. It's very, very slippery feeling. I don't know if I'm going to like it. At least it doesn't feel heavy on my skin. Like, I don't really feel it at all. It just feels very slippery, and I'm not sure if I'm going to like that, but we'll see once I add on the foundation I'm going to be going in with. The next product I'm going to be applying might seem like a little cheat, but it's the Hollywood Flawless Filter from Charlotte Tilbury. They just revamped their shade range, which is really nice. And this is one of the newer shades. This is the shade 2.5. So I'm just gonna apply it like usual. I'll swatch it beside the shade 3, which is the one I used to go in with. Here is the shade number 3. So you can see it's a lot more pink and silver. And here's the shade 2.5, which you can see is a lot more golden based and has almost like a more golden shift to it as well. I'm going to blend it out a little bit so it would be a better representation of what it would look like on the skin. So you can see right here the subtle glow. So the shade 2.5 definitely will work better for my skin tone than 3 would. With this one, I feel like it doesn't give as much of a dramatic reflect, which I kind of like in a way. It still adds a ton of glow, but I think it just blends into my skin a lot better, so that's why it doesn't look as dramatic. So now for my foundation, I'm going to be trying out this Bobbi Brown Skin Longwear Fluid Powder Foundation. I know I'm not a matte foundation lover, but something about this one intrigued me, so I wanted to see how this one wears, and maybe it'll be good under a mask. I'm using the shade Warm Ivory, which I believe is going to be maybe a touch too light. It's not as full coverage as I was expecting it to be, which I'm not mad at. I look like a ghost. I was definitely not expecting this result. I know I put on that dewy primer, but I actually really love the finish of it. The shade match is not great. I feel like I could have gone up 1 shade, but honestly, I really like the coverage. I feel like it's more of a medium coverage. I look very, very ill in my screen here. In person, it doesn't look that ill, but I look like a White Walker. Is that what they're called in Game of Thrones? I scratched Game of Thrones out of my memory after that last season. They completely gave up. Not over it. That would have been the best show to rewatch during all of this, but that last season, I cannot. How rude. Anyways. Oh, here is a good close-up of my skin. I don't use any filters at all, so you can really see how this foundation looks over my healing acne. By the way, look how good my skin is getting. They're all just acne scars. I have no new active acne going on. I'm so excited. I'm really happy with the way it looks right now. I have been having a lot of issues with foundations recently. A lot of them have been looking really bad around my mouth area or even in this area. A lot of my foundations have just been sitting on top of my skin in a very unflattering way. So I'm happy that this one is looking quite skin-like and it's resting on my skin nicely. It's not accentuating anything, none of my dry patches. So I'm just gonna quickly apply some concealer off camera. I'm just gonna throw on some of my Pat McGrath concealer. This has been my go-to recently, so I will be right back. I'm back. Did you miss me? Anyways, I'm gonna try out a powder, and I know a lot of you are probably going to gasp, but I have never tried the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. I've never tried it. I don't know why. I think it was just too hyped, and I was like, you know what? I don't need it because it was too hyped. And I was determined to find something different, but I don't know. I've never tried it before, so here we go. They also have a glow version, which I actually swatched on my hand, and it looks like it has like glitter in it, so I don't know if I'm gonna try that today. I really want to try out the original and see what the hype has been about. And I think it's good that I didn't have a new concealer, so I used one that I was very familiar with so I can see what the powder does. So I'm just gonna apply it with this little shade brush from Moda. I know a lot of people love using this to bake their makeup. That's not part of my routine, so I want to see what a touch of this does. I'm also going to apply a touch on my forehead because it is a little shinier than I would like right now. Oh, it does have some nice blurring properties, but it doesn't cut all of the radiance. It still just looks like skin. It's not chalky at all. Under the eyes, it pretty much just looks exactly like when I set my under eyes with the Pat McGrath powder. We'll see, I'll test it out more, of course. To bronze, I'm going to be using this Bobbi Brown bronzing powder. I have used this on my channel once, but over top of another bronzer, so I don't know what it looks like on its own, and it's just been chilling in my collection for too long, so I'm gonna give this a shot today. I'm using the shade Golden Light. I'm gonna start off on my forehead just in case if it is very dark or very pigmented, I can blend it out. Plus I like to put a lot of bronzer on my forehead because I have been gifted with a lot of real estate up here. But now anyways, for highlighter, I'm going to be using the Milk Makeup Lit Highlighter. I've never tried it. I got this little mini version. Milk is really good at creating these little perfect size products because their average size of these are ginormous and there's no way that I could go through them, but this is like the perfect little size. I'm gonna apply it with my finger. It feels quite wet. I think I forgot to give you my thoughts on the bronzer. I don't really know if I have any thoughts. I feel like it just looks like an average bronzer. It might be a little warm for me at the moment, especially right here. But I don't know, it did apply smoothly. I feel like it doesn't really do anything unique compared to other bronzers. It kind of reminds me of the Quo Beauty bronzer that I do really enjoy. I just prefer the Quo Beauty one for its price and the color. It's more neutral instead of this red orange. But let me know what you guys think about it. I do enjoy the highlighter. I don't know if it's going to be a favorite of mine. It feels a little too slippery for me and a little bit greasy feeling. I don't know, I'll have to try that out again. I definitely prefer my Rare Beauty highlighters and my Kosas one over this for like a cream liquid situation. So now moving on to blush, I did grab the two new shades of the Glossier Cloud Paints. These are definitely better suited for deeper skin tones, but I wanted them just because I love mixing and matching with the other ones. I think just because they're shaped like little acrylic paints, they just take me back to my art school days. So I'm gonna try a few different variations real quick and I'll show you what they look like. I made a lot of combinations here. I did this in the worst spot ever, but here are the shades blended out alone. This one is Spark and this one is Eve, and then I mixed them with the other cloud paints that I have here. So these are all the shades that I have mixed with Spark, and the other row right there is mixed with Eve. This is what it looks like mixed with Dusk. Here's what they look like mixed with Puff, mixed with Beam, and here they are mixed with Dawn. Based on the other products that I'm going to be trying, I think I'm going to go in with this combination here. So a little bit of Spark and a little bit of Dusk. So here's what my little mixture looks like. It looks really nice, but I wanted to compare it to the other blushes I thought were similar. So here is the Glossier Cloud Paint, and here is the M Cosmetics Cherry Splash Serum Blush, and below here is the Fenty Beauty Cream Blush in the shade Daiquiri Dip. So you can see that there are some similarities. On the cheeks, I don't think that they would be that different from each other. So I feel like if you have either one of these two, you wouldn't need the Glossier one because I find them to be very similar. So I'm just going to blend that little mixture on real quick. I really like the combo that it created. I don't think it's the most unique color. I definitely have some blushes that are already pretty close to this color. You can definitely mix your blushes together to create your own color with different formulas. I think I'm just more inclined to do so with this type of a product just because it reminds me so much of a little paint tube. And the glossy cloud paints are what made me fall in love with cream products in general. So I'm happy that I picked those shades up. So now I'm going to move on to my eyes. And I'm just going to quickly prime my eyes, and I'm also going to do my brows off camera. So please enjoy the brow intermission and welcome to the channel, baby Mavie. So alongside the shade revamp of the Hollywood Flawless filter, they also launched like a little collection inspired by it, which is exciting. They came out with 3 of these quads, and they have a different formula than her usual quads. They're called the Hollywood Flawless Eye Filter palettes. They're a lot more pressed than her other shadows, but they definitely give like a red carpet vibe. The mattes in here aren't really mattes. They kind of have like a leathery finish. I hope it's translating on camera, but there's like a slight pearl in there that adds like a latexy, leathery finish, which I think is going to be really nice on the eyes. I wasn't expecting the shimmers to be so glossy looking, especially these ones here. There are a couple different finishes. This one has a little bit more chunky glitter. I definitely swatched these in the worst way possible because you don't know what quad is what. It's my first day back. Don't yell at me. She also launched this dual-sided eyeliner. One side is a classic flat black, and the other side is a glowy shade, which would be perfect to enhance the shimmer or to highlight the inner corner or the brow bone. Very pearly and sheer. Hopefully it's right there. I would love to know what your beauty predictions are, but I think we're gonna see a lot of heavier eyeliner looks. Ones that rim the entire eye, very dark colors, and very natural looking skin. And I think the no makeup vibe is going to continue this year. But those are my 2 predictions as of right now. I'm first gonna create a eyeliner all around my eye with this pencil. To be honest, that's a lot more sheer than I was expecting. I'll probably be able to build it up, but it's not applying smooth. I'm gonna throw this into my waterline, see how that goes. I need to bring the mirror way closer to what I was just doing. That was a dangerous move there, silly goose. I thought I was going to have a complete opposite experience with that. When I swatched it on my hand, it felt dreamy, but working with it on the actual eye is so different. It's not doing anything. I'm going to incorporate a little bit of this one I've been trying out. This is the Nabla Cupid's Arrow. So I would say a big no to that Charlotte Tilbury pencil. I feel like this is a little bit too technical of a look to come back to. I was doing very simple natural looks over my little break, but I just made this way too thick, but that's okay. So I'm going to now incorporate some of these shadows. I'm first going to use this little quad here. This is the Eyes of a Star palette. So I'm first going to take this shade right here, but I'm going to place that in the crease with this Anastasia A25 brush. That blends out very easily. Now I'm going to take the deepest shade in this palette here with this Moda eye highlighter brush. And I'm going to bring the rest of what I have on the brush through my crease just to define it a little bit more. Now I'm going to switch over to this palette. This is the Diva Lights palette, the one with the black. And I'm going to define the outer corner here because it was very patchy. I wasn't planning on layering an eyeshadow over this, but I got no choice. That actually looks really nice. It has a really healthy looking sheen. I'm also going to incorporate a touch of that with the eye highlighter brush, and I'm going to bring it in this area here just to deepen it up. This is not at all what I was gonna go for today, but I'm not completely mad at it. And now for a shimmer, I think I'm going to try one from the Star Aura palette just so I can try all 3 palettes on today. I'm going to grab this shade first. See, it's a very nice bright satin, but it's also very natural looking, like it almost looks balmy. And then I'm going to layer this more glittery shade on top, which is the brightest one from the Star Aura palette. It's called Prime. Oh yeah, that's nice. It's more glossy. Ooh, yeah. I think I'm gonna throw that into my inner corner as well. It gives such a red carpet vibe. I don't know if these are my favorite palettes of all time, but I definitely had fun creating this look with it. So here are the eyes all finished. I really love the outcome. The mascara I used was the Melt Cosmetics Beetlejuice mascara. I think these shadows look really rich in person. I love the subtle glow of the more matte shades. I think they look very high quality on the eyes. I think the only downside, here I'll zoom you guys out a little touch. I think the only downside personally is that I feel like I wouldn't be able to create a full look using only one quad. Maybe just with this one actually, just because they have 2 of those more matte shades and 2 shimmers. But with the other ones, I feel like it's a little bit harder just because this one has 3 shimmers and a black matte, and this one has 4 very light tones. I feel like if I were to use these again, I would always reach for all 3, and I think that's just not really worth your money. I kind of wish that she came out with just a little bit more of a larger palette with all of these shades incorporated into one. I think that would have been a lot better. I feel like we're gonna see a lot more smaller palettes and smaller products just because in past years the palettes have been getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and I think people are over it, they're overwhelmed, and now they're seeing like the art and stuff that it takes to make a nice cohesive little palette. If you have your eyes on any of these, I don't think you're gonna be disappointed. I just wish that it was all in one. It would be more versatile for that reason. But that's my little spiel on those eyeshadows. Now it's time to move on to the lips, and I picked up a majority of the Fenty Beauty Cream lip glosses. These look stunning. I just skipped out on one shade that I knew I wasn't going to wear. It's like a cool toned purpley shade. They look far more pigmented than the original one with the pearlescence in them. So this one over here is the shade Fenty Glow. Then this shade right here is Honey Waffles, which looks really unique. This one right here, which I think is going to be one of my favorites, is Fruit Snacks. That's a cute name. And the last one is Cookie Jar. I think they're really pretty. So I think I'm going to do a little swatch montage just so you can see all of the colors against my skin tone. I actually really loved how each one of those looked. I think the one that I'm going to pair with this eye look is Fenty Glow, just because it is a little bit more subtle and not as dramatic as these ones, but I really like its formula. They're far more pigmented than I thought they were going to be on the actual lips, which is fun. I know I will always have to use a lip liner with them because I found that the edges looked a little bit weird without. I received 3 ColourPop lip pencils this morning. I think I'm going to be using the shade, I'm going to be using So Happy. Oh, I think that color works with this look perfectly. And I'm just gonna put on a touch of the Fenty Cream Lip Gloss in Fenty Glow. Oh, that's a perfect pair. And I actually really like how they changed up the scent in here. I was getting really tired of the original gloss scent. It would almost make me feel nauseous sometimes, but this one smells very fruity but subtle. I think that looks really nice. I really love how the look turned out overall. Let me know what you guys think of this look. I haven't done anything smoky in a while, so I feel like I'm back. So now I'm just going to quickly gather my thoughts on all the products I tried out today, and I'll give you my final opinions. Keep tuned for this month's roundup, just because I'm going to be trying out these products over the course of this month so I can get a better, well-rounded opinion on them. So I'm going to deliberate real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, so first starting off with the CoverFX Dewy Skin Primer. I feel like I'm going to give this a pass for me since I do have a normal to oily skin type. I feel like this doesn't really do anything differently than a good moisturizer could. I feel like if you had a drier skin type, this might be more up your alley. I think it did wonders paired with this more matte foundation to make it a lot glowier, but for me personally, I don't see myself reaching for this much. I think this is a product that I'm going to forget about. It didn't really stand out to me, so I think I'm going to give this thing a pass. For the new shade in this Hollywood Flawless Filter, I love it. That's all. For the Bobbi Brown Skin Longwear Liquid Powder Foundation, I don't think I like it as much as the Intensive Skin Serum that I've been using recently. I feel like this one is already starting to look a little expired on my face, even on my cheeks here and around my mouth. It's kind of separating a touch. It does look quite nice like on my forehead and up here. I just feel like I don't like it as much as this skin serum. I will definitely give this a few more tries over the course of the month. I also think the shade makes a huge difference. I feel like it doesn't flatter my face nicely. I feel like I look a little ill, but that's just because of the shade match. I like it, but it's definitely not a favorite. Moving on to the powder, I don't think it was revolutionary. I definitely thought I was going to have like a, oh my god, why didn't I try this sooner moment because of how hyped this is, but I find this one to be quite similar to the Pat McGrath one that I have been loving. With that being said, I'm going to continue trying this out. I want to see how this acts over top of my other favorite concealers and just test it out more before I fully recommend it, but it seems like a nice powder as of right now. For the Bobbi Brown Bronzing Powder, this is definitely not a favorite. I think this is another product I might forget about in my collection. I definitely prefer a couple more powder bronzers that I already have in my collection. Like the Quo Beauty one, the Melt Makeup Sculpt Stack, the Kosas bronzer, the Wet n Wild bronzer, the Maybelline City bronzer. I feel like I would always reach for those over this one. I don't know, there's something missing for me. I feel like there are some other bronzers that perform a little better, that are more unique and at a better price point as well. So I'm gonna give this one a pass for me. For the Milk Makeup Highlighting Stick, I do really like it. I feel like I don't like it as much as the Kosas Cream Highlighter or my Rare Beauty Liquid Highlighters. I feel like I'd reach for those over this one, but with that being said, I really like how thin this one applied and there's no glitter in it whatsoever, and it does look quite glossy. I feel like if I paired this highlighter with a more natural no makeup look, I would like it a lot more, but I feel like it doesn't suit this vibe of this look today. I feel like it looks a little metallic and that it's sitting on top of my skin, but that could be because of the foundation or even the primer I used under the foundation. I'm gonna have to test this out, but for my first impression on this, it's not my favorite. For the new shades of the Glossier Cloud Paints, I'm really happy I picked these up just because I think I can create some really fun mixtures with the other Cloud Paints. The Cloud Paints hold a lot of nostalgia for me. They really take me back to when I was living in Vancouver and going to makeup school. That's the year I discovered Glossier, and I pretty much wore a cloud paint on my cheeks every single day. They hold a lot of nostalgia, and I think I'll always pick up any new shades. I love these. Moving on to the eye products, I'm going to have to give a big pass to this eyeliner pencil. I had a lot of high hopes. I was really excited to have this kind of combo in an eye pencil, but this eyeliner was really tough to work with. It didn't blend out nicely, and when putting it in the waterline, it took a few passes to get an even coat, and even when I got an even coat, it felt a little thick on my waterline, and once it set, it kind of cracked. It was really hard to work with. I couldn't use a brush with it. It would dry almost immediately on the brush. There are so many better black eyeliners on the market at a better price point, so big pass to this guy, sadly. And for the eyeshadow palettes, I just went over my final thoughts with them after I was done the eye look, but I kind of wish that she just came out with a Hollywood Flawless Filter eye palette, just one of them, just because I find that these are tricky to create a couple or one full look using any of these on their own, but all together they can create some really fun things. I'm gonna try these out more. I'll give you a better rounded opinion later on. The shadows did perform beautifully. I really like how they look, really rich and luxurious on the eyes. It's fun to see a different formula from her. I really love how hard pressed they are, but they apply beautifully. They almost feel like a cream when you're blending them out. So as you can see, I'm quite torn. And finally, for the Fenty lip glosses, I'm really excited I picked these up. I think my lips look really, really nice and juicy without being sticky or too much on the lips. I'm really excited about these. I would highly recommend them. I think these are gonna come really close to the Tower 28 ones, and I love these tones. I hope that she comes out with more flat colors. So that wraps up all of my feelings on all the products I tried out today. I really hope you enjoyed today's video and found it helpful. If you did, please give it a like. It would help me out so very much. I'll make sure to link all of these products in the description down below as always, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Love you. Bye.